My friend, today I want to share something that has the power to transform your life forever. If you're tired of feeling stuck, if you've been searching for answers, if you've been wondering why things haven't worked out the way you expected, listen closely, because this message is for you. Every single moment in your life is a divine opportunity. Nothing happens by accident. Every breath you take, every sunrise you witness, every conversation you engage in, it all carries a purpose far greater than you may realize. The problem is we often go through life unaware of the significance of these moments. We get caught up in routine, distracted by worries, or too focused on the future to recognize the power of the present. But if you could shift your perspective and see every moment as a divine opportunity, your entire life would change. Think about this. Right now, in this very moment, you are standing at the threshold of possibility. God has placed you exactly where you are for a reason. The people in your life, the challenges you face, the dreams stirring within you, none of it is random. Each moment presents a chance to grow, to learn, to encourage someone, or to take a step toward the life you were meant to live. But you must be aware of it. Too often we waste our moments. We delay important decisions. We put off expressing love. We assume we'll always have another chance, but life is fragile and time is not guaranteed. The opportunities you have today may not come again tomorrow. That's why you must learn to live with intention, to embrace the present as a gift, and to recognize that what you do with this moment matters. Have you ever considered how a single moment can change the trajectory of your entire life? A kind word spoken at the right time can heal a wounded heart. A decision to step out in faith can open doors you never imagined. A moment of gratitude can shift your entire attitude and perspective. When you start seeing your moments as divine appointments, you begin to approach life differently. Instead of waiting for the right time, you realize that the right time is now. Instead of dwelling on the past, you choose to embrace what's in front of you. Instead of worrying about the future, you trust that God is guiding your steps. Living with this awareness means slowing down and being present. It means opening your eyes to the opportunities in front of you instead of always looking for something bigger. It means understanding that even the smallest actions, helping a stranger, offering a prayer, taking time to listen, can have eternal significance. Every day you have the chance to be an instrument of change, to impact the lives of others, and to align yourself with a greater purpose. So I ask you, how are you using the moments you've been given? Are you rushing through life, or are you making the most of every opportunity? Because when you begin to see every moment as a divine opportunity, you will no longer live by accident. You will live with purpose. And that, my friend, will change everything. Change begins the moment you stop making excuses. We all have reasons why we haven't moved forward, why we haven't taken that next step, why we're still stuck in the same place. We tell ourselves we don't have enough time, we don't have enough money, we don't have the right connections, or we're simply not ready. But the truth is, excuses are nothing more than barriers we build to keep ourselves from stepping into the life we were meant to live. If you truly want to change, the first thing you must do is stop making excuses. Excuses are comfortable. They allow us to justify our inaction. They keep us from facing our fears. They help us avoid responsibility. But while excuses may make us feel better in the moment, they do nothing to move us forward. They keep us trapped in the same cycle, year after year, looking back and wondering why nothing has changed. The hard truth is that as long as you keep making excuses, you will never see progress. Change doesn't happen when you're waiting for the perfect conditions. It happens when you decide that no matter what obstacles stand in your way, you will take action. One of the biggest excuses people make is that they don't have enough time. But the truth is, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's not about how much time you have. It's about how you use it. If something truly matters to you, you will find a way to make time for it. Whether it's improving your health, building your career, deepening your relationships, or growing spiritually, the effort you put in will determine the results you see. Another common excuse is fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. But fear is not a reason to stand still. It's a sign that you're stepping into something bigger than yourself. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every moment of growth comes on the other side of fear. The only way to overcome it is to take action despite it. If you keep waiting until you feel ready, you'll be waiting forever. Some people blame their past. They believe their past mistakes, their upbringing, or their circumstances have determined their future. But hear me today, your past does not define you. Your past is a lesson, not a life sentence. The only thing standing between you and your future is the decision to let go of the excuses and take responsibility for what happens next. So, what's your excuse? What's the reason you keep telling yourself you can't move forward? Because once you identify it, you have a choice to keep holding on to it or to release it and step into the life you were meant to live. The moment you stop making excuses is the moment everything changes. Today is the day. No more delays, no more excuses, just action. Because that's where true transformation begins. Your past does not define your future. Too many people go through life carrying the weight of their past mistakes, failures, and disappointments, believing that what happened before has determined what will happen next. They allow their past to shape their identity, limit their dreams, and control their choices. But I want you to hear this clearly. Where you have been does not determine where you are going. Your future is not dictated by your past. It is shaped by what you decide to do today. We have all made mistakes. We have all faced setbacks. There are things we wish we could undo, words we wish we hadn't spoken, and choices we wish we had made differently. But dwelling on the past will never change it. The only thing that can change your future is your willingness to move forward. If you continue to look in the rearview mirror, you will never reach your destination. The past is behind you for a reason. It is meant to be a lesson, not a life sentence. Many people struggle to let go of past failures because they believe those failures define them. But failure is not who you are. It is simply something you experienced. The most successful people in the world have failed countless times, but they refuse to let their failures stop them. Instead, they use them as stepping stones to grow, to learn, and to become better. The only way failure can define you is if you allow it to. Some people hold on to past pain, thinking that what happened to them has permanently damaged their future. Maybe you were betrayed, abandoned, or hurt by someone you trusted. Maybe you experienced a hardship that left you broken. But even in the most painful circumstances, you have a choice. You can allow your past to keep you in bondage, or you can use it as fuel to rise higher. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become. Others let their past limitations control them. They say, I wasn't born into the right family. I didn't have the right education, or I never had the opportunities that others did. But history is filled with people who overcame impossible odds to create a new future for themselves. Your background does not have to be your destiny. The past may have shaped you, but it does not have to limit you. The key to breaking free from the past is to shift your focus. Instead of looking backward, start looking forward. Instead of reliving old mistakes, start creating new possibilities. Instead of holding on to regret, start embracing hope. Your future is still unwritten, and you hold the pen. No matter where you have been, no matter what has happened before, you have the power to start fresh today. The past may be a chapter in your story, but it is not the whole book. The best is yet to come. Faith over fear. Trust the process. Life is full of uncertainty, challenges, and moments that make us question whether we are on the right path. Fear whispers that we are not good enough, not ready, or not capable. It convinces us to stay where we are, to avoid taking risk, to hesitate when we should move forward. But faith speaks a different language. Faith tells us that even when we cannot see the whole picture, there is a purpose in the process. It reminds us that we are not alone, that we are being guided, and that if we just keep walking, we will reach the destination meant for us. Fear is a natural response to the unknown. It keeps many people trapped in situations they were never meant to stay in. It convinces them to play it safe, to wait until everything is certain, to only move when the road is clear. But the truth is, life doesn't work that way. If you wait until you have all the answers, you will never take a step forward. If you wait until every doubt disappears, you will never take the risk that leads to breakthrough. Faith requires movement. It requires trust. It requires believing that even when things don't make sense, there is a purpose behind every step you take. Trusting the process means understanding that delays are not denials. Sometimes things take longer than expected. Sometimes doors close that we thought were meant for us. Sometimes challenges arise that shake our confidence. But just because things aren't happening on our timeline doesn't mean they aren't happening. Growth takes time. Preparation is necessary. What feels like a setback may actually be setting you up for something greater. When you trust the process, you stop fighting against the timing of your journey and start believing that everything is working together for your good. One of the biggest struggles people face is the need for control. We want to know what's coming next. We want to have a guarantee before we take the leap. But faith means surrendering control. It means saying, I don't have all the answers, but I trust that I'm being led in the right direction. When you let go of the need to control everything, you open yourself up to possibilities you never imagined. You allow life to unfold in ways that are beyond what you could plan for yourself. Fear will always try to hold you back, but faith will always push you forward. The choice is yours. Will you let fear dictate your steps, keeping you stuck in the same place? Or will you choose faith, stepping out even when you can't see the whole path? Because when you trust the process, you will look back one day and realize that every twist, every turn, every delay, and every challenge was leading you exactly where you were meant to be. Keep going, keep believing, the best is yet to come. The power of obedience and discipline is often overlooked, yet it is one of the greatest keys to success, growth, and fulfillment. Many people want to see change in their lives, but they are not willing to do what is necessary to bring that change to pass. They desire results but resist the process. They hope for a breakthrough but struggle with consistency. The truth is, obedience and discipline are not just about rules or restrictions. They are about aligning your actions with your purpose and staying committed even when it is difficult. Obedience is about following the right path, even when it doesn't make sense, even when it is hard, and even when it requires sacrifice. It means trusting that the direction you are being led in is for your good, even if you can't see the full picture yet. Too often people delay their progress because they question, hesitate, or try to find an easier way. But real transformation happens when you choose to obey the principles that lead to growth, even when it is uncomfortable. If you want to see change, you must be willing to do what is required, without shortcuts, without excuses, and without compromise. Discipline is the ability to stay the course, to keep going when motivation fades, and to remain focused when distractions arise. It is easy to start something, but discipline is what keeps you going. Whether it's building your career, improving your health, strengthening your relationships, or deepening your spiritual life, nothing happens overnight. Success is not about one big moment. It is about daily, consistent actions that add up over time. Discipline is waking up early to work on your dreams. It is choosing to do what is right instead of what is easy. It is making sacrifices today for the rewards of tomorrow. Many people think discipline is restrictive, but in reality, it is the key to freedom. When you are disciplined, you are not controlled by emotions, impulses, or circumstance. You are in control of your actions, your choices, and ultimately your future. Without discipline, you become a prisoner to bad habits, procrastination, and excuses. But when you develop discipline, you take charge of your life. You stop waiting for the perfect moment and start making the most of every moment. Obedience and discipline go hand in hand. Obedience sets the direction, and discipline keeps you on the path. One without the other leads to frustration and inconsistency. If you are willing to be obedient to the right principles and disciplined in your actions, there is nothing that can stop you from reaching your goals. The question is not whether change is possible, it is whether you are willing to do what it takes. Are you ready to stop talking about what you want and start taking action? Because the power of obedience and discipline will take you further than talent, luck, or opportunity ever could. Stay committed, stay consistent, and watch how your life transforms. Your breakthrough is on the other side of surrender. So many people struggle, push, and fight to make things happen in their lives, yet they find themselves stuck in the same place over and over again. They work harder, strategize more, and try to control every detail, but instead of seeing progress, they feel exhausted and frustrated. The reason is simple. True breakthroughs don't come from striving alone. They come from surrendering. Surrender does not mean giving up. It does not mean that you stop putting in effort or that you sit back and wait for life to happen to you. Surrender means releasing control over the things you were never meant to carry. It means trusting that there is a greater plan at work, even when you don't understand it. It means letting go of fear, anxiety, and the need to force everything into place. The moment you stop trying to control everything is the moment you make room for something greater to take over. Many people hold on to past hurts, failures, and disappointments, thinking that if they can just fix the past, their future will be different. But the truth is, you cannot rewrite what has already happened. The only way forward is to let go. Surrendering your past means refusing to let it define you any longer. It means choosing to move forward instead of staying trapped in regret. When you surrender the pain of yesterday, you open yourself up to the possibilities of tomorrow. Surrender also means releasing the need to have all the answers. So often we hesitate to move forward because we don't know what's ahead. We fear making the wrong decision, so we make no decision at all. But faith requires trust, and trust means stepping out even when you can't see the full picture. You don't have to have every detail figured out. You just need to take the next step. When you surrender your need for certainty, you gain something even greater. Peace. Because when you trust that everything is working for your good, you no longer have to carry the burden of trying to figure it all out on your own. One of the most powerful acts of surrender is letting go of the timeline. We all have expectations of when things should happen, when success should come, when doors should open, when dreams should be fulfilled. But life rarely happens according to our schedule. Delays are not denials. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it never will. When you surrender the timeline and trust that things will unfold at the right time, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and disappointment. Your breakthrough is waiting, but it requires surrender. Surrender your fears, your doubts, your past, and your need to control everything. Stop holding on so tightly and allow life to unfold in the way it was meant to. Because when you finally surrender, that is when you will experience the breakthrough you have been waiting for. My friend, today is your moment. This message isn't just words. It's an invitation to transformation. Don't wait for someday. The change you've been longing for starts right now. Will you take that first step? Because if you do, this will change your life forever.